Yeah, I want you to take notes in terms of what you're supposed to do for each first assignment. Now, the first assignment I demonstrated in my first block class, and that was to do an analogous color scheme. How do you do that? So what we did was, okay, now, let me explain first what it is. Just put 21 analogous color scheme, and then we'll go back to that. Okay, just write that down right now. It's going to be an analogous color scheme using your symbol. Just write that down. 21 analogous color scheme using your symbol. I'm going to explain. I made up this symbol this morning. And it's not quite finished yet. I would do it more neatly, but I was demonstrating, so I did it pretty quickly. Okay, we're going to skip ahead now to, I'm using somebody's old book, the Triad color scheme. So number 22 is you're going to make a Triad color scheme. So what I did was my symbol that I decided on. Now you can either use a symbol that you've already made. If you don't like your symbols, and for the most part, the symbols I've seen were really pretty good. Some of them I would suggest need to be a little less complicated, would be better. So I didn't put a lot of thought into mine. I just decided to use my initials. So my first name, if you don't know, is Gloria. So I chose to make a great big G, and I made it with a smaller case because I like the way it has all the curved lines, because I think of myself as a very active person. I think I'm graceful. So I decided to make flowing, graceful lines. I also really love water. Water is something that's very important to me. So what I'm doing right now is outlining it so you can see it. So here's my G. Now if you're going to use a line symbol, you're going to probably have to make that into a shape. Any questions so far? All right. So notice, like when I put 22 here, and notice, let me zoom it out a little bit. One of the things I noticed with the first 10 that could be a little bit better is some people did not label theirs. Some people did not number them. So here I've got the 22 because it's a triad, and triad means 3, right? I decided I'll put the number 22 3 times, and I'll make it kind of into a border maybe. When I get these done, I'll put them on the website, but because I'm demonstrating and I want to keep it short, they're going to be a little truncated, which means shortened. I won't have them done to I won't have the craftsmanship that I would like to have. So there's the G, and then you guys know I've said I'm a zigzag. You know, I go this way and that way, and I keep changing directions. That's kind of how my thought process works. So then I put the Z right here. Incorporated a zigzag in here. Unfortunately, my Sharpie's running out of ink. So you see the Z? Aha, very clever, right? Now, and then I also added a dot, or more of a circle. Part of it was influenced by an exhibit I saw in New York at one of the art museums. And also I just like the idea of the circle of life. The world is a circle or a globe, you know, everybody being one. So I just kind of like that image. And I think it's one that relates well to me. So I did this in pencil first. Now I'm going to come back and erase the pencil. There's a lot of whispering going on. Does anybody have any questions? All right, I would ask you to kindly, so that I can keep my thought process here going while I present. All right, so this is a triad color scheme. So what you're going to have to do, and then why do you think I made the triangles? Try, that's right. So how many colors in a triad color scheme?
3.
And how do we determine those colors? What 3?
Are they like separate from each other on the color wheel?
They are separate, but how are they separated?
Equally?
Yes. Okay. So if we look at our color wheel, this is taking too long because my Sharpie's not working. I'm going to stop. Okay. So if we look on the color wheel, how many triad color schemes are there? Anybody know off the top of their head?
2.
2? Anybody want to go with
3.
another?
4.
3?
4.
Anybody else? 4. 4 is the winner. Okay. You win the prize. Fortunately, there's not a prize, but if there was one, you'd win it. Okay, so here's how it goes. Yellow. Everybody look. You skip 3. What's the next color?
Red. Wait, red. Wait, red.
Red. You skip 3.
Blue.
Blue. Okay? And what are those colors? Primary colors. Exactly. So that's one triad color scheme. Yes, you can do that right now. You can do it right now because this is disconnected and I'm not using this computer. So, yeah. Have at it. Perfect timing. Thank you. Okay, so then let's start with yellow-orange. What would be the next color if we start and go?
Violet.
What?
Red violet. No. That's
1, 2, 3. Red-violet. You're right. Okay. And what's the third color?
green.
Blue-green. Correct. So that's another triad color scheme. Then another, so that's 2, right? The third one, we're going to start with orange and skip 3.
Violet.
Violet. Skip 3.
Green.
Green. You guys are brilliant. Okay. And what are those 3 colors? What do we call those?
Secondary.
Secondary colors. Excellent. Okay. So the primary colors is one. The secondary colors is another triad color scheme. We've already done 1 tertiary color scheme, so there's 1 more. So if you start with red-orange and you go 3, what do you have?
Blue violet.
Yes. Skip 3 more. What do you have?
Yellow green.
Yellow-green. Okay. So you need to pick 1. Just 1. Don't do several triad color schemes. All right, and you can use any kind of. So what do you want me to do?
Do red and blue. Wait.
A primary one?
Yeah, I did primary one.
Okay, I'll do a primary one. So I'm going to use colored pencil. So for example, and that's what you're going to have to figure out in advance. Where are you going to use 1 color? How are you going to break it up into 3 colors? So you don't need to watch me color all of this, do you?
No,
But my G is going to be red.
So we're not like mixing anything, we're just doing 3 different colors.
Red. Well, if you need to mix, you mix. If you don't need, if you can find a color right out of the box, you don't need to. Now, if I wanted a red-orange and I didn't have that, and that's one thing to understand. Yeah, let's do red-orange. Oh, if I can find an orange that's sharpened. Because this is one thing people don't know about colored pencils, you can mix them. So if you want to make a red-orange, this is almost sharp. I will go ahead and do this, but not today, okay, or not right this minute. So now I have a red-orange. What are my other 2 colors? You have to tell me. So now we're not doing the primary anymore. We're doing a tertiary.
Wait, what's after blue violet? No.
Blue-violet? You guys all agree?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to find a blue and a violet, and I'm going to do my Z in the blue-violet. So here's some violet. And I'm not going to do it really dark, because if you get it too much on there, it's too hard to mix. And I don't know if this is the best blue, but nah, this may be a better blue. You want to pick kind of primary-ish colors. So to get that blue-violet, because I'm using colored pencils, you have to layer them on top of each other. That's maybe a little too violet-y. Needs to be a little more blue. I'm gonna use a different blue to kind of change it. All right. And then what's my third tertiary color? I'm trusting you because I'm not looking at the color wheel. Yellow green. All right. So then my dot, I'll use a little bit of green. And I'm going to mix it with a little bit of yellow. You guys don't want me yelling at you on YouTube, so remember this is being taped.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now, so I finished that, and I have my Triad color scheme. All right, so that's for number 22. So what I did, I'm going to backtrack now to 21. This morning, I used these, I think I used some crayons, I used some oil pastels, and I did the background in watercolor. So what can you tell? What's analogous? Tell your partner. What's analogous? Analogous color scheme. Okay, analogous because they're next to each other. What colors do you think? Can you tell from the screen what colors I used? Yellow.
Red.
Red.
Actually, it's more of a red-orange.
I see.
Okay, and some yellow, yellow-orange, and I used a little bit of yellow-green. So as long as they're in a row, and you don't have to limit it, I used 4 colors. I think I used yellow, green, yellow, yellow-orange, and orange.
Wait, so they don't have to be like separate, like 3 ones right next to each other?
That's what analogous is. They're neighboring colors on the color wheel. So for another color scheme could be yellow, yellow-green, green, blue-green. You could add blue, so that could be a color scheme. You just don't skip any colors. They need to be in a row. Okay, so you could do orange, red, orange, red, violet, and violet. That could be an analogous color scheme. Got it? Everybody got it? Questions? Okay, because I'm going to do 2 more. That's 21 is analogous. Those are colors next to each other. And if you forget what they are, look at your notes from Friday. And if you don't have notes from Friday, get them off the internet or look them up. All right, so that's 22 is Triad. Okay, right now, write this down. 23 is complementary. And you notice I altered my symbol a little bit. So you don't have to use the same symbol every time. I decided to do a different. I decided to put the Z in here, and I decided to put the circle there. I almost like that one better than the other ones. The other thing I did, I want to point out, if you see complementary color schemes, see the O right there? It's got all these little dots in it. I don't know if you can see that or not. Maybe I can zoom up just a little bit. That was part of the page. That was already there. That was a little picture that was in the page. So rather than covering it up, I just used that. Okay, so what is complementary color scheme? Look in your notes if you don't have it. Yes, Ken.
Like, I don't know. I can't find it.
Okay, yeah.
Remember.
Complementary?
Color scheme uses 2 colors that complement or opposite each other.
Okay, opposite. So how many complementary color schemes are there going to be if you've got opposites? Look at your color wheel.
There's going to be a lot.
6, exactly. So yellow and violet would be a complementary color scheme, right? Red and green is going to be complementary, right? That's your Christmas complementary. What about orange? What's the complement? Blue, okay? So let's say I'm going to do a complementary color scheme. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned yet to this class is that you can add black and white to all your color schemes. So if I want to do, I'm doing orange and blue. And I'm not going to get it all done because I'm using colored pencil right now. So I could do orange and I could do blue here. No, that's violet blue. Make it a little bit bluer by mixing another blue in. Now, one thing I can do, I can use tints, right? So I don't have to have, since I only have two colors, but if I want to vary it a little bit, I can use a different color of blue, add a little white to it here. So you can have light blue and dark blue. Same thing with the orange. I could do a really bright orange here, coloring that in. As I said, I will work on these examples later. And then I could do like a peachy, a peach is just a really light orange, so I could do a really light orange in the background. So you can vary it by adding black and white. I could also do my letters in black and white, etc. Okay, so that's going to be 23. You're going to use what you're doing is using your original symbols. If you don't like your original symbols, you can change them a little bit before you use them. You can also develop some new ones if you want, but they need to be original. Okay? Questions? And then the last one is 24. And for 24, you are going to do a warm symbol. Write this down. Your symbol's going to be warm. And the background is going to be cool. So, we haven't really talked about warm and cool colors. I'm guessing that a lot of you have learned that already in school. Anybody? And here's somebody's, do not write in the books. If you're not, someone's been doing writing in the book. I've seen more of that this quarter. I don't know why. That's not been a problem in the past, but please do not, unless I give you permission. So someone did that, and they're defacing the book. Please do not do that. This is the first time I've seen this. And I saw another book that had been defaced. That's just, is wrong. You should know that by now. Please don't do it. All right, if you look on page 148, you'll see that it's divided. The warm colors are over here. Figure 6.19, the cooler over here. And here's the dividing line. So what I want you to do is use the 3 primary and secondary colors that are warm for your symbol, and the 3 cool primary and secondary colors that are cool. So what would be the three main warm colors? Tell your partner. Okay, the 3 warm colors are red, orange, and yellow. Okay, now tell your partner what the 3 main cool colors are. Okay, I heard green, I heard blue, and I heard violet. Okay, so those are the ones that are going to be in the background. So, and obviously a warm colored painting here is going to feel very different than cool colors. And why I'm having you do this is that cool colors tend to go into the background and warm colors tend to come forward. So I didn't finish this one today, but I started doing, let's see if I've got the same red. Yes. I started doing part of my symbol in red. I did another part, not done yet, obviously. I did another part of it in orange. I did another part in yellow. Oh, and I think what I was using, one of the things that maybe some of you are, there's really going to be, hello internet, but Ms. Zmolek is going to be changing the seating in this room because she's not happy with some people's behavior. Sorry to put that on the video, but that's what's going on there right now. Because you're not following classroom procedures. Classroom procedures are you listen to me when I'm presenting. One of the things you might want to use, these are really cool that they can, are these Caran d'Arches. These guys right here. They're up with the watercolors. And you can put them down and you can mix them with water and a brush. So I'm thinking maybe one of them was, I've lost my organization up here. So late in the day, that's what happens. I start out very organized, and toward the end of the day, I don't know where anything is. So, hoping there was a violet in here. Not finding it, not finding it. Here's one episode that's going to get retaped next quarter. Shoot. It has gone away. So anyway, I wanted to show you, because I know I did this with the Caran d'Arche. Then what you can do, if this is indeed, I started it with watercolor, but you can come in with a brush. Yeah, this is not watercolor. This is the Caran d'Arches. So what I'm doing here, see how nicely that blends? And you can see down here where I switched to water oh, actually that's not too, I think it's spilling over, but that's a really nice way to apply color to your object. And the other thing is now I can kind of even it out. Same thing with the purple when I find it finally. So my background is going to be cool. So I've got this green here, which I think again is the Caran. That's one cool color. And then I use the blue, because this is the background. This is not part of my symbol, right? And now I'm kind of blending it and filling it in, so that improves my craftsmanship grade, right? Makes it neater. And then if I could find the violet, I know it's on this table somewhere, but it's just hiding from me right now. This whole background, when I get done, will be violet. All the rest of it's going to be in violet. But I can't find my violet Caran right now. Okay? And I plan to finish these and I will take a snapshot and put them on the internet. So, to recap, we've done 4 today. 21, symbol using analogous color scheme. 22, symbol using a triad color scheme. 23, a complementary color scheme. And 24, warm symbol, cool background. That is the end of this assignment for